Hi everyone, so today I'll be doing my review on the Swan Creek Candle 24-ounce Pantry Jar style in the fragrance Southern Sweet Tea. So if you don't know, Swan Creek Candle is a company that uses 100% soybean wax made in the USA. I purchased mine online at giftcards. There are some grocery stores that have different styles of Swan Creek candles. However, I live in the West Coast, so it's harder to come by those grocery stores that stock this particular brand. However, you might have a better luck if you're more towards the Midwest, East Coast. I purchased mine for the sale price of $18.19, and then I think I had a 10% off coupon, but the retail price online at capecandle.com is $25.99. All right, so the fragrance description online, it reads, "This amazing fragrance blends notes of Meyer lemon, English black tea, bergamot, and Louisiana sugarcane from a rich, warm, and sweet aromatic experience, perfect for any time of the year." It also gives a little blurb about the 24-ounce pantry style jar candles. It says, "These 24-ounce candles have the perfect combination of quality, size, and value. Each is made in the USA with premium grade American soy wax and a natural wick that ensures the quality burn and excellent fragrance throw. They are 7 inches in height by 3.75 inches width with an easily removable label if a more formal look is desired, and a burn time of approximately 110 plus hours." So what do I think about the packaging? I really like that this jar is I would say it's very simple, yet at the same time, it's great if you like to repurpose your candle jars. Let me go ahead and turn this over, but you are able to use this for, let's say, like canning products and stuff. There are measurements listed on the side, and like the blurb said, that the label is easily removed. However, I decided to keep it. So despite the fact that this looks a little bit busy and stuff, since you can easily remove it, that shouldn't be an issue. And I do like that the label corresponds to the fragrance of the candle. So since this one is Southern Sweet Tea, it gives different adjectives like herbal, leafy green, as well as like kind of shouting out to something that they're proud of, like the lead-free option. Clean burning, I'm not sure about that, because if you notice, I'm kind of skipping ahead. But there are a little instances of like soot buildup right here. However, it doesn't really bother me. I haven't seen any plumes of smoke or anything. But let's go on to the fragrance itself. All right, if I'm being honest, I was disappointed by the fragrance because when I think of Southern Sweet Tea, I don't know if I have like a different understanding. I mean, I'm on the West Coast, so for me, sweet tea makes me think of more of like that Lipton easy pour packet type of thing. You just add water and then bam, you're ready to go. However, this scent is a tad bit powdery and it's a bit perfumey as well. There's something inedible about it. So if I feel like someone handed me a drink and it smelled like this, I would probably take the tiniest sip because it doesn't smell like something that you would be able to ingest, is what I'm trying to say. So it's nothing like the Lipton sweet tea mix. And yeah, so it's not drinkable at all to me. And I feel like the scent isn't like, I'm not getting much of the Meyer lemon. I'm not getting much of the brewed black tea. Maybe a little hints of the bergamot and sugarcane. I mean, like there is a touch of sweetness, but not really. I feel like, if I'm being quite honest, this kind of reminds me of those bug repellent candles that have like citronella. That's what I'm getting from this candle. So while I don't really care for the fragrance, I don't hate it, but it's definitely far from what I wanted this scent to be. So the best way I can describe this is maybe how some candle companies do like conceptual takes instead of realistic ones on certain fragrances. Like there's a conceptual gourmand instead of it being realistic. This one just reminds me of like a bug repellent candle, if I'm being quite honest. It doesn't really bother me. However, I feel like if I were to have smelled this in person, I wouldn't have purchased it, but it has been burning for quite some time. So let me go on to the strength and throw. I would give the strength on cold a solid 7 out of 10. So it's definitely fragrant. While burning, again, with soy wax candles, I don't have the best and most consistent burn experience. However, this one was pretty decent in that aspect. So I would say the strength while burning. I would give it for the first 3 hours, maybe around a 6 out of 10. So again, that's not where I want my strength and throw for certain candles. So it is more of a mellow, light scent. And then why I say that for the first 3 hours, I notice that the longer that I burn this candle for, I feel like the strength kind of decreases a bit. So if I'm burning this for, let's say, 4+ hours, like from 4 to 5 hours, I get more of like a 5.5 or a 5 out of 10. And then would I say that this scent lingers in the air? Yes, it does a little bit, surprisingly. And I think it's because it's like a powdery citrus that I'm getting that's left behind. So not much of the tea notes or anything, or the sugary aspect. I do want to make a note that on the bottom of the candle, it has a warning label and it says to not burn for more than 3 to 4 hours. I tend to keep it around the 4 hour mark. And I feel like around the 2 hour mark is where I'm getting the most strength and throw. Another thing, this candle takes a long time to pull out. So this is not one of those candles where, let's say you have 30 minutes before you go somewhere and you want a quick, even burn, and for it to fully pull out, you're not going to get that from this candle. I noticed that with the 24-ounce pantry style jars, I need a minimum of 2 hours in order for it to fully pull out. And it takes even longer to create maybe a centimeter or 2 centimeters of a wax pull, which I tend to prefer, because sometimes even though your candle is fully pulled out, I notice at the edges you have like a little bit of a cling on wax. So I feel like with the 2 hour mark, it prevents that. My initial burns, it took longer for the candle to fully pull out, despite the fact that it's a little bit tapered on the opening. However, I tried to put this in a hurricane and I feel like it did help the first initial 6 burns or so, but it still took me at least an hour and a half in order for this to fully pull out, even being in a hurricane. And I didn't see a significant difference in the strength and throw. And as far as the projection of this candle, I would give it 5 out of 10. It fills up my room, but kind of barely. The scent isn't evenly dispersed, which I also noticed that with the timeless jar style candle in the scent roasted espresso, I believe, yes. However, this one is slightly stronger, I have to say. Let me go ahead and switch the angle so you can go ahead and see how it's performing. Okay, so here's the side of the candle and how the wax pull currently looks like. It's about 2 centimeters or so. And I do have to say that the flame is pretty healthy and I haven't had any issues of puny wicks or drowning wicks, despite the fact that sometimes I would be overzealous and trim my wick a little bit too much. I think that would only affect the amount of time for my candle to fully pull out. However, it never kind of dudded out on me. Another thing that I want to note is that this wick format, despite the fact that it's really big, it doesn't easily create mushroom tops. It does kind of split the wick a little bit, but then once I blow it out, I can easily fix that, so I don't have to worry about the wax being dirtied or filled with little mushroom top fallout in it. Let me go ahead and change the angle so you can see how it looks like on the inside. Okay, very quickly, so this doesn't heat up my phone, but if you can see that the wick is splitting up, but if you notice that nothing has fallen into the wax pull, that's one of the things that I really like about this pantry jar style, is that with a lot of other candles, if you leave it burning for this long, you tend to get a bunch of little black bits in your wax that you then have to either leave it there or fish it out. And surprisingly, the wax hasn't gone discolored. It still has this very nice, maybe almost like a cream color. Yeah, so overall, this is doing very nicely. I'm hitting the 4 hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and extinguish this in the next 20 or so minutes. Overall, I would sadly not recommend this Swan Creek candle in the scent Southern Sweet Tea. And my main reason for this is, besides the fact that I wanted a little bit more strength out of it, is that the fragrance didn't meet my expectations. I feel like it's not a realistic tea fragrance. I feel like despite the fact that it has fragrance notes of Meyer lemon, English black tea, bergamot, and cane sugar, I'm not really getting that at all. There's something inedible about this. If anything, it reminds me of those citronella bug repellent candles, and that's not what I want. And I don't, picture myself going out of my way to repurchase this. So maybe this is a scent that I would opt to buy or purchase the wax melt first and then see if you like it and then kind of size up from there. Because definitely I think that this is more of a abstract take on a Southern sweet tea. It doesn't remind me at all of like any tea mixes I've ever tried, or even like the ready-made teas that you would find at, let's say, 7-Eleven or the grocery stores. Despite this being a single wick, there's like a decent, I guess, amount of strength coming out of this candle. I can't say that if you put it in a hurricane, it'll be much stronger, but for some people, like I would give this anywhere from like a 5 to a 6. And for some, that's like their sweet spot. However, I'm more comfortable with a very strong candle. And to me, strong is 8, 9, no. To me, strong is a 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. My medium is a 7 out of 10 to like 8 out of 10. And then anything below that is just light. But anyways, I think that this is a great deal for 110 plus hours. On the other hand, you have to really like the fragrance. I think that this is a scent that I don't hate, but I don't necessarily love. So I'm going to go ahead and try to burn it. And I think that now that it's in my mind that this reminds me of a bug repellent candle, I kind of don't mind burning it in my room because I feel like it's keeping the bugs away. But as far as the performance, I would say that it's like quote unquote clean burning. I haven't noticed any wax discoloration. There are little instances of like soot residue, I would have to say, around the opening of the candle, just because I think the design of the mason jar, I like it that you can easily take out the label or take off the label and reuse it to store, let's say, coins, jams, jellies, anything like that. And it does have measurements on the side if you want to use it for that for whatever reason. So anyways, let me know what you think. Maybe this just isn't the fragrance for me. However, I really love the performance of this 24-ounce pantry jar style from Swan Creek. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.